I had the luxury of seeing Romeo and Juliet on Broadway this past week, starring Snow White.
She's replayed her. She has just now replayed her role from reprised her role from West Side Story, because it's the same story.
It is sort of the same story.
It is the same story.
Basically, it's the Montagues and the Capulets, the Sharks and the Jets. You're right.
It's the exact same story.
Well, she was marvelous in it. Rachel Zegler is an absolute incredible talent. I do look forward to seeing Snow White, at least because of her. What I don't know if this rendition of Romeo and Juliet, first and foremost, I have to say, I enjoyed it because it was a very current and sort of steampunk young. It was like a bunch of Gen Z kids as the characters in Romeo and Juliet. Yeah.
Excuse me. Let me enlighten.
I'm not Gen Z. I'm millennial.
Let me enlighten the people here. Keanu literally called Romeo a fuckboy. Okay?
He is a fuckboy. He is.
This is so disrespectful.
Ma, no. I'll tell you why.
Romeo and Juliet is done one way, in the best way, with, oh my God, what?
Mom, let me tell you.
I'm speechless.
I'm not talking about this version of Romeo and Juliet. I'm talking about the Bard, Shakespeare's version of Romeo and Juliet. Romeo has always been a fuckboy. He is a fuckboy. Romeo is a fuckboy. Do you know any man?
My ears are burning.
Mom, let me tell you something. Do you know any man named Romeo in modern times? I literally not a fuckboy.
I literally know a guy named Romeo who I worked
is he a fuckboy?
Fitness with. No, he was
of
not.
Of course, he works at a gym. Fuckboy. He's a fuckboy. There is no man named Romeo in modern day that's not a fuckboy. He's a fuckboy. Romeo is a fuckboy, and I will tell you why. It has nothing to do with the version that I saw. It was very Gen Z. It was theater in the round. The nurse was a trans woman, and she also played Tybalt, and it was a very comedic. She went from comedic to dramatic.
I saw her. Yeah. I saw her. I looked up the show after you called Romeo a fuckboy. Okay.
Yes. Say whatever you want, but it was awesome. Everybody had baggy jeans on and Hello Kitty backpacks, and it was absolutely fucking awesome.
Shakespeare is rolling over in his grave. Okay.
What's that?
And Shakespeare is rolling over in his grave.
Or their grave. Some people say that Shakespeare is a million people, so you never know. But listen, I will plead my case as to why Romeo is a fuckboy. Romeo is a fuckboy, no matter they did not take creative license with this. Romeo is a terrible part to portray. He's an idiot. He starts the beginning of the play. His friends are fighting, but he can't get out of bed because of Rosalind, right? Oh, Rosalind. Oh, woe is me, Rosalind. They're like, where is our buddy? He's supposed to help us fight off these Capels. I bite my thumb at you, sir. No, but I do bite my thumb, blah, blah, blah. But Romeo sleeps through that because he's too depressed about his former squeeze. Some play he got that doesn't want anything to do with him anymore. So then when he finally awakes, they're like, the only thing that'll get Romeo out of bed is to go to this party they're not invited to where Rosalind might be. Right? This happens in
Rosalind won't be there. She's not a Capulet. She's
but Montague. They said the only reason he decides to go is she may be there. So then after the party,
the Montagues weren't invited. Just the boys went.
Exactly. That's what I said. The Montague boys took acid and put on masks and went to the party anyway.
But Rosalind wouldn't be there if she's an upstanding citizen and she's a
Mom, no, they went because Rosalind might be there. Right?
No, and why would she be there? She's a Montague.
Rosalind, okay. They were trying to cheer him up. They did drugs, and Rosaline might be there. They weren't invited there either. After the party, after the drugs, after he meets Juliet, then they meet back up and they go, after Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? And he climbs up there, breaks an entering, bones Juliet almost, or proposes to her.
It looks like he's just climbed up onto a mattress, right?
I'll show you some pictures of it. After that, then his bros meet back up with him and they're like, so did you hang out with Rosaline? He went, who? Who's that? Rosaline? Blech! No. They're like, well, you just laid in bed for a week. He's like, no, I don't know who that is. Juliet is my new person. And Juliet is sensible. And in the end, I don't know if you guys know this, they die because Romeo's a fuckboy. That's basically the long and short of it. It truly is. It really is. He's a fuckboy in the first written version of it, and he's a fuckway in the newest Broadway.
You are so disrespectful to Romeo. I cannot even. My ears are burning.
Rewatch your favorite. Franco Zeffirelli, is that his name?
Yeah.
Rewatch it again. I know it's your favorite version. Rewatch it again. Romeo is a fuckboy. He goes on and on and on about Rosaline in the beginning. Can't get out of bed.
No,
then again, they ask him, so did you run into Rosaline at the party?
I don't think Franco Zeffirelli showed that. I do not.
Yes, he did. If anything, that movie's like 4 hours long. He did every monologue.
It was not 4 hours long. I saw it in the actual movie theater in 1969. So shut up. I know everything about it.
Let me tell you something. And that's the version where they run the nurse around with her.
A sail.
Great movie. So he's a fuckboy. He's never going to convince me otherwise. He definitely is. But let me see.
I didn't know Romeo was a ginger either. I mean, he's definitely.
I don't think Kit Connor is a
red
ginger.
Hair, for fuck's sake.
I don't think he does.
He's not an Italian man. Romeo is an Italian man.
I want you to tell me any Romeo that you know in real life right now that isn't a fuckboy.
I told you I know Romeo from Peak Fitness. He was not a fuckboy.
Gym. Fuckboy. See? You see?
I don't think he was.
So I'll show you some images from this. But again, I give this play an A++. It was absolutely magnificent. Everyone, if you're in the New York area, should see Romeo and Juliet on Broadway. It was a theater in the round. It was so very, very cool. No.
I'm sorry. Zach said.
What?
I'm going to tell you in a minute.
Oh, you have to read through it to make sure that it agrees with you?
No, he said, you better watch your mouth about my boyfriend, Kit Connor.
that is his boyfriend, exactly.
I said, Keanu is calling him a fuckboy.
He is a fuckboy. Well, Romeo, the character, is a fuckboy. I'm trying to show you something.
No, honestly, I looked at both of them. They looked really beautiful, and they probably were great in it.
They were marvelous.
They probably
really
were.
was.
It makes me want to see it, too. It does. But the tickets are so fucking outrageously expensive. It's ridiculous.
I know.
Yeah, that's what I saw. How does he climb up there?
No. He at one point, because he's a fuckboy, he runs towards it and then does a pull
up
onto the bed. And then he just throws his dick
up there.
Yes, he lassos his dick round. And he pulls it up like this, and then they make love. It was gorgeous
with his really long dick.
Exactly. Yeah, it was incredible. The balcony scene. It was very visceral, very stripped down. And Kit did a great job, Kit Connor. And so did Rachel. Really great job. But it's just funny. That
Oh my God.
yeah. So everyone, if you're in the New York area, go see the new Snow White, Rachel and Kit Connor,
We
who's a gay
literally,
icon.
really,
some
we
reason.
literally had a whole family text message about this earlier even.
It's great. I love them. It really was. We were in the front row. It was the front row of the round. It was wild.
I mean, I would love to see it. And I looked at the tickets today all the way through December. They're so fucking outrageous. And I always have to be up close. Oh my God.
I know. We were right there. Thank you to my brother who gifted me and Elliot those tickets because my God, they must have been expensive. Jeez Louise. We had too much fun. Too much fun. I don't know about Snow White, but I will be seeing it just because she did such a great job in this. So